probably going to repeat some of the things that I said in my tutorial video for the tutorial for the tutorial. So if I do, I apologize if you watched that. If not, then maybe you'll learn something new. So anyway, I will pick a picture. I like him. He's got a haircut, that guy, so we'll go with him. JD Collier is because even though some of you may be interested in seeing me start on an easier start so that you can follow along, you can adapt anything I do with a harder start easily to a more, or that I do our little shepherd, and it has the most important thing you can stick on a shepherd, which is reinforced bulk hits, because he's below up a little.
So this is if I remember correctly, this is a game that's been in development for a number of years. It's by a small company that repeatedly kind of updates it as they've been going. I think there's like 4 people working on it, and is they're working towards a goal, but this goal was essentially mostly realized along the way here, right? I don't know where I get into that as a content creator, right? There's an issue of it's not ever going to have a huge amount of hype. It's a pretty niche game. It's not going to rapidly change, and it's been around forever already. I worry about getting into a game like that now, if that makes any sense.
Right here where I take them, they have survey. Look at our factions first. So we're friends with pretty much everyone but the pirates and the light path right now. This is how you always start, and it's a good way to keep things for a long time, preferably if you're not a really combat-focused player. If you want to do a pirate start, then start smashing everyone's faces in. But for most people, that would be a bad plan. So
it can be just tagged nerf. I mean, the goal is essentially games that probably don't have a lot of replayability, that don't have to be super deep, but could be funny. Fun or funny.
Let's go take a look here at Jangala and see if they have anything for us. Now, whenever you approach a world or a dock, opening the comm directory is a great start. You can see if they have any officers. The worst. If you're planning on playing an upstanding playthrough.
This interface is kind of ugly.
Susceptible for the most part. To add and remove a contract. Just eventually encounter. Like to know which
not that necessarily has to matter, but
so
it becomes something you have to get past.
Like that. Oh, hello. These little pirates are beyond that initial amount, and then we'll have to pay more to restore our ships. Your combat work. So anyway, let's get this going. So personally, I don't like to fire my guns. I like to let the ships do it. So I'm not going to have. I pressed 5, which is a weapon group here in the bottom left. You can see there's no weapon group listed as 5, which means my guns are now all on auto fire. So when I take them off auto fire, I can press control with the group. So control 1, you can see the little box light up.
Chat, what is the spiritual successor to Homeworld? If I want to play the most recent generation of Homeworld, or a game very much like that, preferably with true 3D, what am I playing? What am I looking for? I would love to play another RTS space sim that with good fucking story, like Homeworld was. That was super fun. What is that these days? Like, maybe Arender. It's maybe on those things.
That's my auto fire button. Control for that will also do it for 2. But like I said, I'm in group 5, which has no guns in it. So right now the game is just saying we're going to have all the weapon groups that the player is not directly controlling auto fire, which in this case is all of them. So this allows me to focus on steering and shield management stuff. But all right, this guy right here is a mudskipper. He has a big mount, very large gun. He's mounting a Mark 9 autocannon, which is a very powerful kinetic weapon. And this dude is just a little Cerberus. He's unshielded usually. They can come with shields, but they usually don't. And they usually have high explosive. This guy's mounting a heavy mortar, medium ballistic, and some point defense. So let's see if we can get rid of one of these guys. So what I did there, I told my entire fleet to attack. Now because I box selected myself as well, it also told my ship to attack, which put on autopilot. Now I immediately did something with my keyboard, so the autopilot was automatically disabled. But that's how you can make your ship do things if you want. He's burning towards me right now. He's using his burn drive. He's about to wreck my face actually, so I want to back up. Spacebar pauses the game, in case you didn't know, and tab is how you switch between these 2 screens. So let's see how to handle this. If I can hit him with my ion cannon, that may disable his ship pretty quickly. So let's see if we can do that. The ion cannon is on the right side of my ship though, which means I'm gonna have to kind of face off center.
I do like directional facing in ships.
Shield damage that did? No, I gotta drop my shield or he's gonna wreck me. So backing off, my ship is venting. Oh, you see that? If you look here, that's the armor on his ship, and as you can see, the front is now darker. It's because these little drones are tearing him apart right now. The yellow numbers is armor damage, the red is hull damage, and there's a blue, which is shield damage.
Drones make me nostalgic for Eve.
He's utterly shredded right now, and he's probably going to die before I have to deal with him again. So let's fight the Cerberus instead. Ooh, there we go.
Okay. Initial thoughts on this combat actually looks fairly fun. It depends how repetitive this gets and how deep you can get strategically for this. But this looks fun. I like the combat interface more than I was expecting based off of the non-combat interface. Highly upgradable, highly modular games tend to be pretty fun for replayable stuff, especially if the difficulty is high enough and there are enough options to do things. This doesn't actually look terrible overall. I do have a soft spot in my heart for sci-fi games. Maybe? Star Sector is basically Eve offline. Well, maybe that's part of why I like it. That's another one to talk about is Battlefleet Gothic Armada, which I fucking love. Dude, I want more. Okay, let me put that up there. Let's find one of those, or rather, maybe I'll watch the end of this when my mods can figure out that. Find me a gameplay footage of Battlefleet Gothic Armada 2. You can maybe find that on the Filthy Robot channel. But I want a game like that again. That was very, very, very fun.
Because it's reduced by that as well.
Sins of a Solar Empire is close to Homeworld.
It adds more speed
Isn't
and more
Sins
speed
of a
and
Solar
features
Empire a
also,
4x
Okay.
turn-based thing
I
where
will find some
Homeworld
here for
is not in the least bit like that?
Some crew. That should be enough. There we go. I will repair the ship this time. And off we go. So let's see if our friend is still there. They are. I wonder who it is. Should we take a peek? So if you pause immediately upon going into hyperspace, you can take a look around. A salvage fleet. That does not look like a pirate fleet to me. It's pursuing a pirate scout, which is probably over here. There are also some ships in the area who have been damaged or
I could play
destroyed
this.
in combat. So
I don't know
I'm
how
trying to
long
keep
we
looking
could
to
get with
see
this. I don't know
things
how it would do on the channel, but I could definitely play
Sorry,
this. This
all
should be
ships
added
work
to a
out.
list of games that we should check out at some point, maybe. Especially if I can get into it rapidly. This looks kind of fun. All right. Thanks, Zenbu. Tag. Yeah. All right. Let's take a look at Battlefleet and then oh, look at this handsome devil. Oh, this is an older one though. This is the original, not the sequel. I could probably find that somewhere easier. Okay. Oops.
Out of either side of that ship.
There it goes. We look a lot more hunched over. Are we shrinking as we get older, or is it just like something about this chair with that posture? I don't know. Okay. Yes. Now we need another one. I should put the webcam there. We won't bother. Okay, but this gameplay is super fun. Okay, let's talk about this gameplay for a second, because this is about the review video of this, but the point is still the same, right? Unfortunately, this is 2D, not 3D, but this is RTSs. The combat in this game does get repetitive, but it's got a decent strategic layer as well. This is a tactical layer, of course. There's a number of different factions. The combat's super fun. The lore and ambiance is pretty fun. Your ship has things like directional armor and directional weapons, so there is some micromanagement. There are skill shots. There are consumables. There are things like that. That is fun content for me. I really liked this game. This game was a game that I thought was underhyped relative to how good it was. It was fun, gave a lot of hours. The gameplay got a little bit too repetitive with the fucking warping like invasions that you had to fight real time, and the auto resolve was never particularly good at auto resolving in a way that kept your resources together. But this was a pretty well fleshed out game, and it was a lot better than the first one, like a lot better. I wish I'd had a little bit more in this. This feels like a game that would probably benefit from some modding kind of thing, and like a little bit, maybe the campaign seemed very long from where I was at. I don't know. But I mean, it was just good. This was a fun fucking game. So I don't know quite what we do for a game like this to make it a little bit bigger on the channel. Maybe it just needs a bigger release, or maybe we just need to stick with it a little bit longer, or maybe the battles need to be a little bit less repetitive so that happens, or maybe the AI needs to be a little bit better at combat, because the AI is pretty bad at combat overall. Tends to be a lot of like overwhelming number shit as opposed to actually good at the combat. But overall, this game was pretty damn good. This is one of those games that I would easily recommend to people who like this style of game, and I'm up for other RTSs like this. This has a fairly finite number of units. The units are something you micro. When you are microing them, you get to use things. It doesn't have this. I don't remember this one has. I think in multiplayer it has limited amounts of time slowdown, but in single player it has unlimited. And then it has a strategic element on top of it. I really liked this game. Yeah, and maybe this is another game that is worth a revisit with heavy modding, but that's really hard to tell, because again, what do you do when you heavily mod a game? You take a game that was probably a niche game to begin with, and then you further slice the people who are interested in it by the people who are willing to put the time and effort into heavy modding, and then you also alienate all the people who are playing this without mods because they don't have any reference point for watching this game, even if they were playing that game. It's challenging to build heavily modded things into your channel, but not impossible. We've done that with Battle Brothers and XCOM, for example. So yeah, I know PvP died. PvP died almost on release for this game. There was not a lot of content for that. Oh, trio of filthies, yeah. And I like this game. So I don't know. I would love another game like this. I would love this if this were 3D too, as opposed to this is 2D. This is a flat plane. You can't go up or down in that plane. But I would love it if it were 3D too. It feels like you're playing in space. You ought to be fucking playing 3D. Have you played Star Sector? Anyone in chat want to answer that? All right, suggested by Onia, Iron Harvest trailer gameplay video. Okay, check that out. Incredible. Looks like shit so far. It's just a cover in that scene. Instead of people standing in the open shooting each other till they're dead. Is this multiplayer right now? I do love me some mechs. This looks like just massively worse than Dawn of War 3 at the moment. Way, way, way worse. Both. I prefer sci-fi or dark fantasy settings to World War II settings as well, although it's kind of a minor issue if the game's good enough. I do like the games that make a big distinction between infantry and vehicles, and I like that as another way to break down real-time strategy units. For example, Warcraft 3 does not do that. Basically, all units are, there's armor types, but as a whole, they're all relatively comparable. Whereas games like Dawn of War, there's a bit of a rock, paper, scissors in terms of anti-vehicle weapons versus vehicles versus infantry, which I kind of like. I like the shovel bots. I hope they can run people over. Running over infantry with vehicles is one of the most rewarding things in life. I don't know. This doesn't look great to me. Although it looks like maybe the later stuff has been a bit more interesting than the beginning stuff, where it's just a bunch of fucking dudes running in a field shooting each other till they die. But I haven't seen much in the way of, like, I'm not seeing it here. Maybe I'm just missing it. Are we seeing resource management in some way? Is this like, I see where we're using movement, unit movement, and unit movement alone is okay, but I prefer it combined with, like, you know, resources. I got very big into Dawn of War 1 when it first came out, and Dawn of War 2 a little bit, and Dawn of War 3 a lot when it came out, and I like that type of game. That game is a lot of fun. Company of Heroes has been highly recommended to me a lot, but I don't think we're going backwards in time for Company of Heroes. If there was another Company of Heroes that was relatively well done, I would probably do that. Relic has always been a company I've got a bit of a love-hate relationship with. They often have very innovative, very unique takes on games that are super cool, but they're also fairly buggy and fairly imbalanced a lot of the time. And those two things don't really, like, in the genre of game that I most like from Relic has tended to be real-time strategy, and fucking balance is so incredibly important in real-time strategy. So it's been frustrating with me, my relationship with them. Okay. I do like squad gameplay. All right. Let's take a look at the Total War Warhammer video.
Hello everyone, welcome to Total War Warhammer 2, where I'll be playing as Malekith of the Dark Elves on the very hard difficulty.
This guy sounds like Madasidian.
Out right now.
Yeah, okay, I struggle with this. This is hard for me as a kind of classic real-time strategy gamer. I struggle with this interface. This is an interesting thing. This is going to be something I have to get over. This isn't an impossible to master interface, and I think the relative repeated hype of these games, plus the fact that I heard they're actually fairly good multiplayer games, and have been recommended by a couple sources, I believe, I think I probably need to make the investment into getting into these. They're complicated enough with the races and unit structure too that I think there's probably some strategic element that I would find enjoyable. So we'll see. I've answered that 3 times at Dux. So I don't know why you keep asking me that question again. I've already answered it.
We use a lot of micromanagement. So vermin, you have 2 storm vermin, various clan rats, and even 2 night runners, which might be a bit difficult to beat down on. But let's try it. So
where's good multiplayer is just PvP battles right now. Yeah, like skirmish stuff. And skirmish stuff will get boring after a while, but it depends. And I think the multiplayer isn't really campaign multiplayer, right? It's skirmish multiplayer. I don't really like campaigns in RTSs, but I don't really play RTSs for campaigns. I play RTSs for the multiplayer PvP component. I mean, there's a tech tree. We did check this out briefly on stream, and I remember not being that excited by the single player, but it might be worth doing it again on stream just to get used to the battle system of this, right? To get used to, because this system is a very different RTS system And it's kind of cool, right? Because you're fielding armies, and the armies look like armies, as opposed to kind of the like Warcraft 3 equivalent, where an orc is not really supposed to be an orc. It's supposed to be representative of an orc unit, and the orc unit is supposed to be a composition of units, but it's represented by one dude with 1 HP that you micromanage, right? So a part of me kind of like we should learn this type of game now, and this is a version that might be worth learning on.
It'll be okay. Okay, here we go. No one go to skirmish mode. And let's have these shades go after that Gracier immediately. Here we go right now. They're going to use spells, and that's okay. I'd rather them go after one unit than all of my units together. If you go look at my shades right now, they have armor piercing, and they're very powerful. Not to mention they have really cool hair. Look at that. They're quickly taking out that Gracier, who's very low armor. They're going to assassinate their leader. And over here, we're now fighting a lot, and I mean a lot of Skaven. We could use a Bladestorm right now. We're going to wait for them to actually crash on our front lines. Look at all my Dark Shards attacking.
I like this. I like individual units, cooldowns. This gives you something to micro. I like the idea of formations. I like how zoomed out this is. This is kind of cool looking. But it's so different than how I've ever played real-time strategies.
So we can use our Dark Conduit in just a moment. Before that, let's use our Blade Wind to kill everything. I can put it a little bit closer. Here we go. That should do it. We're gonna use all of our magic for that roll. Let's do it right now. That's gonna kill a lot of Skaven. I'm hoping it'll draw back a little bit more to kill more of them, but I think that will do for right now. So we're gonna let our Dark Shards just attack whatever they want. It will gain over 1. Get more growth. I like that idea.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never tried to stream a real-time strategy on that's not true. I've streamed, I guess, some Battlefleet Gothic Armada. I haven't streamed a lot of real-time strategies on this channel. I wonder if that would be something that'd be interesting to do or not. I think it's worth checking out. Yeah, I saw the multiplayer link from WoW things. I'm just about to drag that in right now. I assume this is the actual player. That was in-house footage of No, I want to look at this. This is raging content, which is great.
Well, for Dark Elves, and that's going to give some extra AP against these Cav, because Malekith, of course, has 520 weapon strength.
Yeah, I know there's some strategic planning in terms of army matchups, and it's almost like deck building a little bit, right? Which is something I identify with, which is you're like looking at the meta of units. I don't know if you get to customize versus your opponent ahead of time or not, but certainly customizing meta armies is something interesting, and building counter armies and looking at getting the correct unit on the correct enemy. Like presumably this is like a cavalry unit chasing down cavalry. God, I always mess that up. It's cavalry unit chasing down like a ranged unit, which is pretty fucking cool.
These guys going down is going to be incredibly tough. I mean, yes, eventually the spearmen and the heroic characters here, Balthazar plus the Amethyst Wizard, will get them off, but
yeah, maybe we need to revisit this game. This game also seems like one that we probably missed that I think behooves me to get better at again, and then prepare for the third version of it. I've just never been able to get into the Total War kind of games, and that may be just powering through that till I put the investment in to learn it.
That's going to be it. I think I just
has a kind of cool diversity of units too. I like the different classes of infantry style units, as well as there's siege units in there, there's hero units in there, there's air units in there. I think it's probably worth doing. Yeah, I think let's put that in there as well. Okay. Okay. I cannot find Homulus. Okay. I even have that game. I just have to do things like collect figure out which DLCs I need for that. What are the most upgraded version of that is. I have like because I got contacted by that company to see if I wanted to stream that, and I picked up a game key for that, etc. That's the old list I gave you. Okay. Is it? Magic seems underpowered in Total War Warhammer until you learn to use it. Sure. Yeah, I like the idea that there's complicated systems in that for sure. What am I looking at? I'm looking at a stream replay of another streamer. Let's get that the fuck off my content. Okay. Dude, look at this guy. This is recommended for me. I never understand this. I am Filthy Robot. Why are you recommending my videos for me? You think I'm just going to watch them? I've already watched this pre-release to make sure it was all right. Anyways. All right. Do we have other games we wish to check out on stream today? So we came out of this with 3 that we were definitely wanting to check out, right? Which was, well, 1 that we definitely want to check out, 2 that we're probably going to check out. The 2 that we're probably going to check out being Star Sector and Total War Warhammer, and then Total War Warhammer 2, excuse me, and then Wasteland 3 being something we absolutely wanted to. Battlestar Galactica Deadlock. I've actually played that on stream. Actually didn't do very well, surprisingly, even though I thought it was right up the vein of things. I found it fairly fun, but we didn't play deep enough to get a sense of whether or not it was one of these like Phoenix Point things where all the systems suggest it's going to be fun, but it never gets implemented, or if not. Sims dating. Yeah, we're needing actually, Kush, I don't know if you're here for this conversation. We still need a dating game of some sort for when I drag my wife on to play on stream, because I think that could be fun for the final portion of that stream while we're drinking, while we do kind of another like more serious game ahead of time. I'm not very interested in Kerbal Space Program, although, and we reached out to them and they basically said they're not giving out keys anymore, and that's fine. We could still buy a copy if it's something that's really interesting, but it doesn't seem that interesting to me. I didn't really like AOW Planetfall. Did I check out the Warcraft 3 Remastered? Yeah, I have seen a little bit of that. They wanted me to play Pigeon Dating. Pigeon Dating. Literally pigeons dating one another. KSP2 trailer for the future. Have a look. Did I get an answer from Pigeon Attractiveness Lady? I think she said lol, why? And then I explained and she didn't answer. Relive spaceship launches with hyped music. With little tiny green men. Gameplay, please. I have no idea. That tells me nothing about this game in any sort of way. Go. I don't need to watch tutorials on this shit right now, Nerfoxing. It's just too early for that. We have to get the game, get interested in the game, want to play it, to commit to playing it, and then figure out what comes intuitively and what doesn't, and then identify the shit we need to learn on. Yeah, I'm not super interested in that unless something changes from that, but it could. Oh, this is an actual game suggestion. Bad North. Never heard of this. Doesn't look like for me. Shadowrun and Shadow Tactics Blaze of the Shogun. I've looked at both those. We can look at them again. So definitely, as I said, this is why we need the suggester system, because both those games I looked at kind of ruled out and moved on past. I almost did Blades of the Shogun on stream, but didn't in the end. I don't know that I know. I thought I don't know. You love Shadow Tactics, great game. Maybe. Didn't I play some Shadow Tactics on stream? I don't think so. Games suck now, pick up checkers. I don't really like checkers as a game. It's not very engaging to me. Any more RimWorld plan? Not at the moment. Yes, I understand. We already did that. Nahuda Konek. I've said your name many times on stream, but really don't remember. Why am I getting a Bernie Sanders live stream? Small world, I guess. Watch too much Destiny. I don't think Destiny's a Bernie fan. Right? Doesn't he like hate Bernie's like what am I looking for? Foreign policy? Anyways. All right. Do we want to open this up to any more suggestions for this? I don't want to play chess on stream. I got into chess for a while in high school and early college and then got out of it again. It's okay. It's a lot of memorization for openings, and I didn't find it the most enjoyable thing I could do with my time. Stellaris, maybe. Stellaris is something we've done probably 4 or 5 times on stream in terms of gone back and retouched in with various expansions. I was thinking of doing Stellaris again recently, but then I basically read a comment that said Stellaris is in bad shape right now. Maybe again in the near future. Would I ever go back to Civ 5? What a comment. Banner Saga. I feel like I've looked at that on stream. Was that the RTS that Arvius was playing for a while? Baba's a puzzle game. I don't do puzzle games. I find puzzle games super not fun. Can make more in-depth content for games you already know. Pretty bored with games I already know. Stellaris at the moment is good if you community patch it. Yeah. I think I have a pretty strong desire to take another look at BattleTech. Maybe modded, maybe unmodded. That was a game that was a lot of fun going through it the first time. And basically when we looked at it, we're like, this needs to be longer and more of a mercenary thing and less of a campaign driven thing. And I think that sounds pretty fun. I think getting into Warhammer sounds pretty fun. Playing through that at least once or twice to get a sense of it, get prepared for future iterations of that. Sounds like if there's a Wasteland 3 alpha out there, we can probably get a hold of that and check that out a little bit. That seems pretty good. What I need actually, so those of you who are listening right now and part of this presumably are interested in the content generation that's coming out of this. If you are active in any of those communities I just said, Discord is where I'd like that to be. If you guys have suggestions about must-have quality of life mods for any of these games, or very big overhaul mods that are like well balanced and have been out for a while, like for example Rogue Tech on BattleTech, this would be the type of time that would be really helpful to have that feedback. Because if I start like a Rogue Tech campaign of BattleTech, that might be super fucking sweet. I might love the hell out of that. We might end up dumping hundreds of hours into it like we did with Long War, but it'd be really nice to have that set up before we jump into it, as opposed to kind of wasting our time with stuff that's not as good to begin with. So Discord. Mods, please link Discord in chat. It would be really nice to get that feedback if you guys know stuff about that. Galactic Civ 3 doesn't really strike me as something I was very interested in. We already looked at the on stream today. It's also Long War Rebalance. I'm not going back to XCOM 1, dude. Star Sector is very mod friendly. Well, even that, like, are there quality of life mods that should be running Star Sector, or should we just go for it as it is, or what's the deal with that? What about this War of Mine? I don't really want to go back to that game. We played it a little bit. It was okay. We played Warsaw and are playing Frostpunk, both of which are very, very similar and very fun. More roguelike-y games. You have title suggestions? MTGA could use some Jorbs quality content. I do not expect to get heavily into MTGA again on stream. There's a number of reasons for it. It's a very heavily saturated market. What I found is, although I love drafting, drafting 6 to 8 hours a day was a little bit too much for me, and that I was really, really vulnerable to bad expansions. So like some expansions, like Dominaria, you could probably draft 6 hours a day and be pretty excited about it. Like other expansions were pretty fucking garbage, and drafting them for extended periods of time was really unpleasant. I'm not very impressed with WotC as a company, and I'm not very impressed with Magic the Gathering Arena as a product, which is too bad because I think Magic as a product is a pretty fun product. But I don't think there's a full-time content creation niche for me there. So, and also it doesn't really let me variety stream particularly well. But anyways, I don't know. It's not something I would rule out entirely of playing again on stream here or there. Certainly checking out. I've checked out every new Magic expansion on stream as it's come out for the last year and a half or something through Arena because I like the game. I think the game's really cool. Cogmind Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup Brogue. Played Xenonauts. We also did that on stream today. I like drafting. Drafting is my favorite way to play Magic. Maybe we could play through a little bit of Star Sector. Hearthstone Battleground. I looked at that when it launched with the intent to say if it was good, maybe I'd play it some, but it really didn't do anything for me. All right. I could put this up as a vote, maybe. Probably a straw poll vote. And I make no promises to pay any attention. I mean, that's wrong. I make every promise to pay attention to it. I make no promises to abide by what you guys vote for. But I am kind of curious what you guys would like to see more. And I'm always a little worried with this because the problem is like if the game is a bigger game, then what ends up happening is people end up voting just because it's like a more popular game, and that's not really what we want. Content soon of democracy. Okay. All right. Answer one is BattleTech playthrough. Okay. Total War. Warhammer 2 playthrough. Learn the game. Prep for Warhammer 3. And Star Sector. And maybe we'll do all of them simultaneously. We'll see. It's just a lot of learning to do all of them simultaneously. So I'm going to allow multiple choices. You can vote for any and all the ones you want. Let's just create this poll and just see. Can we commandeer the poll command chat and do this one here? My vote is for BattleTech, by the way. Okay. And let me know what you guys are looking for that. That's unfortunately not a stream poll. I wonder if I could integrate that better through probably I should do this on Twitter. All right, let's do this on Twitter. I lied. You can't vote on that poll. I'm not reading that poll ever again. If you have voted on that poll, I'm sorry you got suckered into it. All of your personal identifying information has been recorded. And that, have we ever set up a Twitter poll before? I don't think I've ever set up a Twitter poll. How do I do this? I wonder if it's easy. Do I have to Google this shit? Fucking Twitter. One day, chat, I'm going to learn to love Twitter, and that day will be the day I die. All right. Tweet. Add images or video. Schedule tweet. I thought there was a fucking polling option in here. Open new tweet and click poll. Is there? I don't actually see poll in this. Okay. Literally add images or videos, schedule tweet, direct message. Maybe I have to be directly on the Twitter. I use TweetDeck. So maybe I can't find it through here. Oh, we're gonna do Star Citizen next weekend too, for at least part of one day, which we didn't watch. I mean, we should look. All right, I wouldn't mind also a Star Citizen video on stream. See what I'm getting myself into. Okay. Third icon on Twitter proper. Do I just show this? Does it matter? Is there anything in here I care about? I don't think so. All right, we can just drag this over, I think. All right. Where? Chat, where? Make a new tweet. We got that right here. At top, sure. Next over. This is a poll? I thought this was formatting. This looks like the side. What? Thing that looks like a poll. This does look like a poll, but it doesn't seem to do anything poll related. Dude, we should fucking clip this. Boomer learns Twitter. Let's do it. There's no fucking poll here. You trolled by chat. All right, whatever. We can go to Filthy Robot and do it here. All right. Where's poll? This is a poll. Okay. All right. Ask a question. Democracy, : Filthy is going to check out Help Filthy. No, maybe Help Filthy decide on what to do next. No. How do we want to say this? Filthy is checking out some new games. Let him know what y'all want so he can ignore it. Exclamation. All right. Choice 1. Can I make this vote for all that apply? Poll length, 9 inches. Oh, 7 days. 7 days? Let's see. Today's Sunday, right? So I'm not streaming Tuesday or Wednesday for sure, and I'm probably not streaming tomorrow unless I can get this set up for tomorrow. So it's probably a 3-day poll. It's probably about perfect. Get this set up for maybe even a 2-day poll. 3 days from now would be midway through Wednesday and preparing for Thursday. That seems pretty good. Let's do that. Let's do a 3-day poll. Oh, I can do a 3-hour and some hour. Let's do a 3 days and 1 hour poll. And I can actually include minutes. We'll put a 1 minute in there as well. 3 days, 1 hour, 1 minute, because customization. So he can, I'll remove democracy because some people who don't follow my channel are particularly close, or rather I'll remove ignore it, and I'll call it so he can democracy it. I'll put that in quotations. All right, choice 1. And actually the vote's actually important to me because it does give me an indication of what people are interested in, regardless of whether or not I care to make any actions based on that. All right, Battletech with DLC expands. Oh, it doesn't let me have shit for character. There's a 25 character limit on my poll choices. In 2020, we're at 25 character limit? Seriously? For what fucking possible reason is this a character limit of 27 of 20? How am I supposed to put any information in here? How am I supposed to communicate information to the people who are receiving this? The people I'm tweeting to, the people I want feedback from? Fucking Twitter, man. We're rapidly losing information. This is now no longer saying what I want it to say. Okay. Choice 2. Choice 2 was Star Sector. Choice 3. Choice 3 is optional. No. What was choice 3? Okay, I need some other considerations about Twitter polls since I've never done a Twitter poll. Can I set it up? Please tell me it has at least the basic functionality of straw poll. Please? Can I, for example, allow people to vote for all 3 and then play it in the order that people vote for it? In other words, they're like Total War, and I'll play that first, and then I'll go and play Battletech after. 1 vote, nope. Does Twitter have any money? Are they a profitable company? Do they have any reach? Do you think they have the ability to hire a programmer? I mean, I don't know these things. This is my first time hearing about Twitter. This functionality seems somewhat limited. Total War Warhammer 2. I have 2 characters left. Okay. Yeah, I would go back to straw poll, except that I do need to. This is one of the things I need to do better this year. I need to do better about it last year and didn't, or rather only did it moderately better. I need to continue to improve my usage of social media. So I am going to co-opt you guys into voting for this on this platform, not because I think the fucking platform's better or the poll is better. I think the poll is worse than any of the other polls I've ever used, but because I want it persistent, which means I can't use the on-stream overlay poll. I want it persistent for a couple of days, and I want it, and I want to fucking be better about the social media shit. So why no link to straw poll on Twitter? Because I want to engage you guys through Twitter, because I need to grow my Twitter account, because this is useful for me in this profession and I'm bad at it. Okay, we good? Everyone clear on what these options mean? Exactly. Bro, Twitter, like it or not, is the most powerful platform out there. Exactly. All right. Mostly clear. No, I need to explain more. Yeah. Do you guys think I could explain anything in a 25 character limit? Hi guys, Filthy Robot, 1 word here. Bringing you another guides, tips, and tricks, and tricks is 211 video. That's 12. We're halfway through the content. Shit. That's words, not characters. That's fair. We're already way over in characters. Use a series of tweets or something. Okay. Was there other ones we wanted to add on this? These were the 3 that most caught my mind from today. I'm like, all 3 of these I could have fun with. I could have fun with relatively immediately. We're going to be playing Star Citizen next weekend, at least for a portion, if not a full day for that. So we're going to be checking these out. I think these are worth revisiting on channel. And at the moment, I would like something that I could sink my teeth into a little bit. I expect Battletech is going to be the best of these for sinking my teeth into, but these other ones might be as well. So I think this is probably good. Wasteland 3, we will play when I get one, when I get a copy of it. But voting for it isn't useful right now because if I get an alpha and the alpha is not very deep in terms of play content, then I might not do it till like I hit a beta of it, for example. But it's on my radar, something I want to play. These ones are here now and out. So I think these are probably better ones to jump into than the Wasteland stuff right now, Zenbu, although I will be checking that out on stream. Thank you, Duck. Continuing the gift sub you got from Disgusticate. It's nice to see that system working. All right. Hearts of Iron 4 did not reach my top 3 right now. I think it's on the list, but I don't really want it right now. All right. Okay, is this done? What is this symbol? Oh, I see. It's a hover, but it doesn't actually tell me what the fucking symbol means. Fantastic. Tweet. We're fucked, chat. All right, where does it go? Here it is. And I can pin this shit somewhere. Pin to my profile. Embed tweet. View tweet activity. Let's pin. Okay. Replace previously pinned tweets. No, that's fine. We'll do that. Sure. Okay. All right. You guys are welcome to vote on this. I would like you to vote on this. Please vote on this. And if you don't already follow my channel on Twitter, please follow my channel on Twitter. I don't tend to spam too much with this, and I use it for a lot of important channel announcements, and I will be attempting to use this more efficiently, or at least more regularly in this year. Plus, you can see when my birthday is. I was born April the 13th, 1984. That was a Friday the 13th. If you Google Friday the 13th, you will learn many things about me. Total War Warhammer is 100%. Can I vote on this? I want to vote. Replying, no. Retweet. Retweet with comment. Oh, no. Okay. If the world had no men is trends for me? Huh. I don't think I use this enough for them to get very good predictive algorithms on me. War crimes. That is topically appropriate for the types of games we play. Probably not topically appropriate as a worldwide communication network trending thing. Just putting that out there. We think you would enjoy these things. A world without men and war crimes. Fake World War III facts. What? All right, let's not ever look at that again. Okay. All right. Where's my shit? Profile, no, home. All right, whatever, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. Okay. Chat. What, if anything, do we wish to do? I think we're probably coming to a close for today's stream. I would entertain any last requests for video review stuff to look at briefly. If you're not a moderator and therefore can't provide me an immediate link, it makes your request a little bit less enticing for me. I like to be able to just click on a single thing and not have to worry about it, but it will be, I'll still take a look at it. Slay the Spire chat draft, denied. You're sorry, but you voted for Warhammer. You don't have to be sorry for voting. I think Whose Line Is It Anyway has the appropriate understanding of what votes mean. Yes, send a whisper to a mod or ask us to grant permission is a very, very good idea. Okay. If I played Into the Breach, yes, I played through all of that. I believe that's up on YouTube. I enjoyed the game, although it did get a little repetitive. I didn't think it had a lot of replay value. It wasn't insanely hard. It was basically thinking in a different way each time, and it was fun. All right. All right. I guess the final, we'll end the way we began. We'll just double check on the fucking comments so I can try to keep ahead of this. Let's take a look. Oh, I don't want to do it that way. Let's do it this way. Go. All right. Check out Hades. It's more fast reaction than turn-based, but there's definitely some strategy to it. I mainly watch your Battle Brothers content, some of your Civ and other content. I like watching someone who's good at hard strategy games. One of the great things I like about your Battle Brothers playthroughs was naming your characters. Also when they died and made you salty. That's all good. Mountain Blade 2 is shaping up to be amazing this year. Can't wait for it to come out. The first was kind of broke. Oh, shit. That reminds me. That was one other game that looked, didn't get a ton of information, but I'd like to get a copy of Mountain Blade. What is the Mountain Blade 2? Okay. That should happen. Okay. Good call. Can we close these now? Oh, AI Dungeon. Do we want to play AI Dungeon? I'm not sure. Mountain Blade Bannerlord. Is it like this? And is that separate than Mountain Blade 2 Edgelord? Which is definitely a title I'm interested in as well. All right. Mutant Year Zero. I downloaded, installed, and tried to play that and quit within about a half hour. All right. Commenting second time after seeing your feedback, response, VODs to answer the questions properly. Okay. What drew you to plan in the first place? I'm the type of person who, much like you, begins streaming. Much like you before you began streaming, plays a few games overall, but thoroughly dives into each one to figure out optimal strategies, tactics, and build. Came across this channel during my Civ 5 phase, been chewed through all your guides and no time to learn how to beat the DAI. By the time I'd moved on, you were focusing on games like Darkest Dungeon and Battle Brothers, which I instantly fell in love with, which kept me actively following your channel ever since. Awesome. Why do you like my stuff? As a min-maxer and completist, I love creators like you and Major Slack videos. I don't know that one. A smaller channel that mostly covers RPGs who adheres to the game done right philosophy. Not that there's a wrong way to do them per se, and I share the wealth of knowledge and expertise to the masses, so to speak. Your guides and walkthroughs help me get the guests on the games I cover. This is exactly what I want my content to do, and I love it when people engage with that. That's really nice to hear. Why are you not interested in watching RPGs? Personally, I don't have much time to actively watch streams and will tend to lurk more than anything else. I love watching RPGs myself, but the issue with long broadcasts is that to truly follow a game story, people must tune into the entire length, or like I have in the past, resort to watching VODs, which allows for much more schedule flexibility. It's one of the main reasons why such games tend to do much better on YouTube than Twitch, in my opinion. My suggestion is sticking to only streaming them for, say, the first 3 hours of each day. We've already talked about this in stream. It won't be the first 3 hours, it'll be the last probably 2 hours. So people can catch up easily between streams without having missed huge chunks of content. As for guides, as many others pointed out, I believe they'll do tremendously well on here, as the demand for proper advice on builds and quest walkthroughs is much higher than what creators can supply. Hell, Major Slack, the creator I mentioned earlier, still has a channel dedicated to Skyrim over 8 years after the game's release. Overall, I honestly wish more people would create videos like yours aimed at the meat of the game over the fluff. Yes, it's nice to have interesting concept narratively, but if you can't hit the broadside of a barn with their bow, the fun factor doesn't live long after, I assume. Here's to the better 2020, and thanks again for the years of entertainment. Cheers. P.S. about Total War, I suggest looking at the historical games such as Shogun 2 and 3 Kingdoms, as well as Warhammer, as they provide different experiences than you might despise one style but fall in love with the other. I prefer fantasy to historical fiction in general. Others may have suggested this, but I believe there's a good opportunity for you to partner up with certain developers, such as Overhype, to offer affiliate links and discounts when getting a kickback yourself. We're working on a game store. We had a game store iteration now, but it was a little bit disappointing, the actual iteration of it. What I want ideally is as a variety streamer, I want a ability to offer you guys a discount on a game live, the game that I'm playing and games I've played in the past. And I want it in an interface, which is basically, here's the games Filthy's played or is playing. Here's the guide videos about that. Here's a link to get a discount. The discount gives you a discount on the game, so you get it for cheaper. And a portion of what you spend on that game goes to me as the content creator. Win, 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 win. That's what I want. And we're working on that. That's happening behind the scenes. What that looks like and how many iterations it will take to get there, I don't know. But this is not something that I haven't thought about. And as long as I can keep building systems that are win-win for both of us, phenomenal. I like the way how you approach games and how you talk about your decision making. I also like the rhythm of your content. And so when you're playing a game, the rhythm, that's weird. So when you're playing a game that piques my interest, I'll pick you to watch. If you're playing a game I don't care about, I don't watch you. And I'll look you up in a few months to see what you've been up to and watch backlogs of things I'm interested in. Totally reasonable. Found your content and channel when I first dabbled in Civ 5 and wanted to improve. Your guides have been of immense help, and I still reference them. I reference back to them in your playthroughs. However, I stuck around because I have similar taste in games, not only Darkest Dungeon, Battle Brothers, Frostpunk, to some extent RimWorld, games which are incredibly complex but not soul-crushing games which you as a player need to figure out not the win condition but a success condition, the most optimal way to continue in that specific game. I found that you managed to do that better than myself, explaining your thought processes and decisions as you go along. Not only am I entertained by watching, I'm also educated in improving my own games. The somewhat lengthy way you explain things makes me better understand mechanics, goals, and gameplay loops compared to any other streamer I've encountered. That's why I keep watching. Oh, and the snarky, somewhat borderline cynical humor is just enjoyable. Borderline cynical? This is a modifier to the word after it that means, it basically means less intense than this word. So these two words combined mean not quite cynical. There are definitely many games out there that wait to be beaten while offering the same level of challenges you currently enjoy taking on. I don't know how you feel about letting your community vote for the next game of your choice. I'm going to link him a Twitter poll in a second. But perhaps compiling a short list of possible games you enjoy and letting us choose is something you could do. Without thoroughly researching of games you've already played, I would definitely nominate the following. Maybe these both pique your interest: Stellaris, Divinity Original Sin 2, Banner Saga, and Heroes of Might and Magic 3. Thanks for the content and cheers from Europe. Edit, I can't speak for anyone. I can't speak for everyone. I don't know about that phrase. Of course you don't speak for everyone. Who does? But even though I'm a fan of RPGs, then there's a very specific reason for me not watching others play them. Story, I want to experience these stories myself. That's a little bit more fair. He's saying personally, this is just a euphemism, a synonym for personally, right? I want to experience these stories myself as they're somewhat intimate to me. I don't want to watch other people making moral choices which go against the choices I would have made as more frustrating than anything else. This also means I won't watch anyone play Cyberpunk before finishing myself. That's the first person that said they have no interest in watching Cyberpunk. That's It's nice to get some honesty out of it. We'll link him the Twitter poll because we are an elite internet user, engaged mostly in using Twitter to build our brand, and we are fucking good at it. Think this actually links there? Who knows? I'm gonna send him this like it means something. Think that's the link to the poll, or just the link to the thread. Presumably you can get there from here. Okay. Sin, 37 months. Welcome back. Thanks, man. Sometimes I'm so bad at typing. Sometimes I type very fast. My accuracies tend to be pretty poor. I wonder if you can even go there. If I try this, if I open this in new cognito window, what happens? You get there. Okay, good enough. All right. As far as RPG goes, there are many that aren't as good for watching on stream. I feel most people would rather just play it than watch it. I feel certain ones like Path of Exile hit high viewership not only because it was very popular, but there's so much min-max to the game, not just on character creation, but methods of farming, getting rich in the game. PoE is not a RPG. And the meta changes every league, every 3 months. You can tune into any PoE streamer at the moment and not feel like you're behind on where the streamer is or need to catch up. Grim Dawn is another amazing ARPG, but it's single player and has small viewership potential. Yeah, I looked at Grim Dawn. I played it for like 10 seconds and then quit. Is Xanabu gifting a sub to Wahalo there? Thank you for the gifted sub, Xanabu. Hey, Wahalo there. Yeah, I guess maybe that's true. I guess technically an action RPG is in fact an RPG just by the way that you've structured that. But I guess the accuracy element of me wants to go, no, it's an ARPG, not an RPG. So maybe he's not wrong. I watched all of your Civ 5 and Civ 6 stuff because, as you mentioned, the breakdown and spreadsheet analysis you bring to the table. I like improving my play and strategy games. Same reason I've seen you in EU4 and XCOM 2 videos. Others may tune in for every single game you play. I specifically tune in when it's a strategy game I play as well. I play a limited amount because it's impossible to be good at many strategy games. Not true. It just takes time. My main point is that for me, it's your deep analytical skills that bring me in, so playing too many various games prevents me from following you all the time. Final mention, check out some of the Paradox titles. They are the king of grand strategy games, which I figure would be a min-maxer's wet dream. I actually don't really like grand strategy games. Like most comments, I watch you for Civ 5. I still go back to old content learning processes. I don't enjoy watching an RPG story from the middle. It's like starting a serial show in the middle. Yeah, okay. So part of this is how we're going to present RPGs. I think we can get around some of these by presenting them in a playlist that's kept up to date with how much progress we've made on stream and not oversaturating to begin with. I don't know how that will work with Cyberpunk. I suspect we're going to want to oversaturate to begin with on that. Also, Vipsidoo, welcome to the channel again from Xanabu. Thank you. Are you going through my mod list, Xanabu, and making sure they're all subs? We can mod some more people if that's the case. So when I see my favorite streamer already streaming an RPG, I tend to think it's too late. I'll try to catch it from the beginning next time. I watch mostly Battle Brothers and Civ content from back in the day. Love the Darkest Dungeon content and the guides especially. I watch you for your expertise, breakdown of your strategies, and thinking you've got a level of sincerity and salt that works for me. Strategy games you play help me make informed decisions about if I want to buy them. Awesome. I won't watch you play casual games or any other streamers. I wouldn't watch you play casual gamers or any other streamers. I watch people who know their shit. Hope that's helpful. It is. Started watching you in January of last year. Really like the in-depth commentary and calm yet entertaining attitude. So followed ever since. Regarding RPG games, they're probably better for YouTube or Let's Plays than streams. I prefer to enjoy the story myself first and watch it being played by you, preferably at higher difficulties and exploring builds. Overall, keep doing what you're doing. Since the biggest roadblock is a small amount of titles to choose from, a few recommendations. Battletech, Surviving Mars. I couldn't get into that game. Stellaris, once you start from scratch. These are good suggestions. They're in the vein of my stream. Now, granted, we've played most of these on stream already, but we're going to revisit Battletech shortly. Endless Space and Endless Legend. I haven't been able to get into Endless Space. Same with Endless Legend, but they're not bad suggestions. They're definitely in the vein. Sunless Sea and Sunless Skies. Don't know this. That's worth taking a look at before we go. Can you dig me up videos for these mods? I don't know those two titles.
Quitters never win.
Thank you, Union United 1103. Welcome back.
War stream. Love the content. Can't wait to see where you go next.
To be clear, Union United, I will be playing all of those titles on stream at some point in the near future. It's a matter of ordering, and voting may or may not matter for ordering yet. I kind of want to do a Battletech playthrough next, but we'll see. So yes, we will get there. All right. Every successful YouTuber, just my opinion, has a personality that we choose to subscribe to. For me, you're the guy who not only reviews interesting strategy games, but delves deeper into the strategy of those games. I've not only found games I currently enjoy, but watched many games that I decided to stay away from due to your channel. I even tried some games I would not have given a second thought to, Band of Brothers, which I assume is Battle Brothers, because I'm more interested in implementing the strategy you showcase than playing the game. For me, I will keep tuning in if you keep showing more interesting games in the same genre, strategy, but especially if you are, especially if after showing a new player, you delve deeper into the game mechanics and theory crafting. Yep, it seems to be a fairly recurring theme why people watch. The Civ 5 guides were really informative, and I watched your games to learn how to play. It was really interesting to see how you approach every part of the game with a level of optimization I never thought of. For example, building roads and tutor. Have we read this one? Yes, we read that one. Are we done? Okay. I think we may have caught up. Oh, Sunless Skies and Sunless Sea. Okay, but Skies is the sequel. Thanks. This is this or last year. Sunless Skies.
So, aiming at the beach where I play and try to close, which is just the map. Maybe this first bit is the same, and then we have the options. Okay, let's keep going. As first officer, the crew look to you. The nearest station is New Winchester. Is the Blue Kingdom? Let's make it. Yeah, go back as you can find it. Okay, I think we're getting out of here.
Chat, do you guys do what I do? Do you watch pretty much every YouTube video at between 1.5 and 2.0 times speed? When I listen to Sam Harris podcasts, I wish I had a 4 times speed, although it does depend on his guest, because like I can't process that slowly. It's too slow. Now there are some exceptions. Sometimes I can't listen to Destiny at like 1.5 or 2 because he speaks fast enough, and sometimes engages with people who speak fast enough that I have to do like 1.25 or 1.0, which is fine. I like that because you eat through the content that's interesting to you faster by speeding it up, which is unfortunate. But sometimes people just talk so fucking insanely slow.
Skilled Ash and littered with corpses. Leader has little as survived. The Osmanthus is ruined. You search fruitlessly for coal, but linger too long. As the rack is racked with final violent tremors, you race back to the Orpheum. It supplies only weighs 5. How big is that bat? That's not a bat. That's a freaking plane. And I got possessions over here. Minimum safe manning made for human mouths. She swears.
I haven't seen any gameplay. This seems to be reading a bunch of dumb shit.
It's pretty cool. You cross into the bustle, the din, the suits, and the steamless looks. The orphan itself feels suddenly. So we could be a street urchin, a soldier, a poet, an academic, and I can click on that.
Fucking poet.
No, they all have Majesty's preferred monstrous page. Lovely.
Role playing a
Yeah, that's
poet
your exploits and write about
in
them.
2020.
I'm not, I like that. I don't know what it is, but it's a thing.
I haven't seen any.
It's just a thing.
I don't think so. And I would need a lot of recommendations to make this a yes, because it starts as a no for me. Okay. Oh, I should watch. This seems like a video that was recommended for me that probably actually is useful. How to work with overthinkers, in case I encounter any. All right. Do you watch Peterson at 2 times as well? Probably 1.5, mostly Donny. Depends. Okay, chat. Are we coming to a close for today's stream? I think we may be. Any other final video requests for checking out videos that I might be of games that I might be interested in? Would I ever do a heavily modded XCOM 2? Yes. Riftbreaker. Don't know that one. Go watch the KSI versus Logan Paul 2 fight. Is that a free stream? We'll be actually ending kicks. I don't really feel like playing Frostpunk at this exact moment. These guys, Derelicts doesn't do anything for me. Riftbreaker. Let's find that. Riftbreaker gameplay footage. Sort results by recent. Let's see. Not what I wanted to do. Well, it's fine. Past year. Teaser trailer, gameplay, PC, high definition, YouTube. 2019, November 14th, 2,000 views. Let's use our new hotkeys. Okay. Her armor covers her body. That's the plus. Generally, I find controller games less interesting, but there are exceptions.
Don't worry, Mr. Riggs. Our Sentinel towers will take care of this.
Oh,
Let's
it's
stretch our joints a little.
it's a Starcrafty looking Thayer Billions, kind of, maybe.
These attacks are getting constantly stronger. We need to tighten our defenses.
That's true. We have to place a few more towers to the east of our base in case some of these creatures decide to visit while we're not around.
Probably not me.
I'm detecting a large group of creatures heading towards the base.
Okay, let's show them they're not welcome here.
Guy's got a flamethrower and he's killing Zerglings. That's fun.
I'm not detecting any more hostile creatures in the base's vicinity. A quick analysis suggests 2 effective strategies. 1. Build more defenses. 2. Destroy all hostile creatures.
Building nodes. There are resources there. Okay. That's kind of cool.
Okay, Mr. Riggs, we've got
My pleasure, Grimwald.
Ashley, I would strongly advise you to place a rift port near this factory. This way we can quickly get back to this location if it comes under threat.
I mean, maybe. It'd have to be where how hard it was and how many decisions you actually had. It's not outside the vein of games I could enjoy. I don't tend to love tower defense style games that much, but Tab was pretty good. The survival mode, not the campaign particularly. Were there others? Or are we getting good? I think we might be getting good. The answer of watching Peterson at 2 times speed took me a while to figure out what he was saying, because he says things with like so many linkages to other things, particularly literary linkages that don't make a lot of sense until you kind of follow through his thought process once or twice, and then it makes a lot more sense when he uses shorthand for it, because initially you're kind of like, what the fuck are you talking about? You see the Long War mod for War of the Chosen? I haven't, or I haven't played it anyways. I remember there was one, and I basically said I'll come back to it in some time. I didn't love Long War 2 quite as much as I liked Long War, or excuse me, I didn't love XCOM 2 as much as I loved XCOM 1, but maybe it's just a bunch of mods, a bunch of community stuff it's worth coming back to. That should be on the list of games that might be worth retouching, but we need some mods for. Okay. All right. Well, chat, I think this will probably do it for us today then. Plan at the moment is to stream again on Thursday, so I'll be not streaming Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in all likelihood, but there might be a bonus stream tomorrow, but I don't think so. It depends how quickly I can get this stuff set up. I suspect I'll need a couple days to contact devs and then make a decision about buying product if the devs are not putting their stuff forth, or just to skip the game or whatnot, and set that up and get going with that. I need a little break anyways. My wife gets home after a long travel. I haven't seen her for 2 weeks or something on Wednesday, so I'm looking forward to spending some time with her then. But I ought to be back at the very least Thursday, if not tomorrow. And yeah, so if you haven't already, please check out the State of the Channel video. You can get some understanding of why I am on as I'm on right now, not my normal schedule, and get some sense of what we're doing about it. That will continue to be a work in progress. We're going to get this suggestion list up and running, as well as figure out how to add the super suggester element to it. And we'll get some immediate work from the suggested games coming out of this with BattleTech, Total War Warhammer 2, excuse me, and probably Star Sector on stream in the near future. So when I do that, I'm not entirely certain, but definitely be back Thursday. All right. In the meantime, what can you do? You can give me responses to that video. You can vote on the Twitter poll about what you'd like to see next. And remember, we're going to democracy it, so your input is welcome, but please don't get upset if I don't follow your input directly. And then you can post in the Discord. And keep an eye out. I will tweet, video, Twitch, talk a lot about the system when we get it in place, because I do not wish to be in the position I'm in right now and have been in for the last couple months, which is essentially I don't have quite enough content for the amount of time I'd like to be streaming. So we're gonna fix that, because it's a fucking stupid position to be in. So meanwhile, thanks for being here for me, guys. Appreciate the support. I'll be back soon. Feel free to use any of those outlets I just mentioned to let me know what you think of this. If you think this is a decent use of our time to go through with this and that the system makes sense in the long run. Meanwhile, guys, have a good one. Thanks for watching. My host friend on the way out. I think we probably have a couple streamers I follow streaming. We do. Who do we wish to host? Oh, I gotta give some love to Arvius, playing some Civ 5, longtime friend of mine, and excellent streamer. Looking forward to collaborating with him again in the future. Meanwhile, guys, have a good night. Thanks for watching. See you soon.